Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. We are so happy you're here today. If this is your first time listening, welcome. This podcast helps you learn English step by step in a simple and friendly way. Today's topic is talk about your weekend. Weekends are fun. Weekends are relaxing. Weekends are different from weekdays. So this is a great topic to learn useful English. Before we start, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. This helps us make more lessons for you. Okay, are you ready? Let's start. Today we will learn how to talk about your weekend in English. We will listen, discuss, listen again. And remember, take your time. You are learning. You are improving. Good job for being here. All right, let's begin. Listen. I had a great weekend. On Saturday, I stayed at home and watched a movie. On Sunday, I met my friend and we had coffee together. Good. Now let's understand this. Discuss. First sentence. I had a great weekend. Repeat. I had a great weekend. This means your weekend was good. You feel happy about it. You can also say, I had a good weekend. I had a nice weekend. Now you try. Pause and say it. Good job. Next. On Saturday, I stayed at home. Repeat. On Saturday, I stayed at home. Stayed at home means you did not go out. Example. I stayed at home and relaxed. I stayed at home and watched TV. Simple. Easy. Next. And watched a movie. Repeat. Watched a movie. Example. I watched a movie. I watched a funny movie. I watched a movie with my family. Very good. Next. On Sunday, I met my friend. Repeat. I met my friend. Met is past of meet. Example. I meet my friend. Present. I met my friend. Past. Weekend equals past use met. Good job noticing that. Next. And we had coffee together. Repeat. Had coffee together. Example. I had coffee. I had coffee with my friend. We had coffee together. Very natural English. Now let's listen again. Listen again. I had a great weekend. On Saturday, I stayed at home and watched a movie. On Sunday, I met my friend and we had coffee together. Good. Did you understand more this time? Yes? That's great progress. Now let's learn more useful phrases. Listen. My weekend was busy. I cleaned my room, did my homework, and visited my family. Discuss. My weekend was busy. Repeat. My weekend was busy. Busy means you had many things to do. Opposite. My weekend was relaxing. Repeat. Relaxing. Nice. Next. I cleaned my room. Repeat. I cleaned my room. Example. I cleaned my room on Saturday. I cleaned my room in the morning. Good. Next. Did my homework. Repeat. Did my homework. Important. We say do homework past equals did homework. Example. I did my homework. I did my homework at night. Nice and simple. Next. Visited my family. Repeat. Visited my family. Example. I visited my family on Sunday. I visited my grandparents. Great. Now listen again. Listen again. My weekend was busy. I cleaned my room, did my homework, and visited my family. Good. You are doing very well. Now let's practice talking about a relaxing weekend. Listen. My weekend was relaxing. I slept a lot, watched TV, and listened to music. Discuss. My weekend was relaxing. Repeat. My weekend was relaxing. Relaxing equals calm, no stress. Good. Next. I slept a lot. Repeat. I slept a lot. Example. I slept a lot on Sunday. I slept a lot because I was tired. Nice. Next. Watch TV. Repeat. Watch TV. Example. I watched TV in the evening. I watched TV with my family. Good. Next. Listen to music. Repeat. Listen to music. Example. I listen to music. I listen to music at night. Very natural. Now listen again. Listen again. My weekend was relaxing. I slept a lot, watched TV, and listened to music. Great job. Now, let's make it interactive. I will say a sentence. Then you repeat. Ready? I had a great weekend. Pause. Good. I stayed at home. Pause. Nice. I watched a movie. Pause. Good job. I met my friend. Pause. Excellent. I had coffee. Pause. Very good. Now let's build longer sentences together. Repeat. On Saturday, I stayed at home and watched a movie. Pause. Great. On Sunday, I met my friend and we had coffee. Pause. Perfect. You are improving already. Keep going. Now, let's learn questions. Listen. How was your weekend? Discuss. Repeat. How was your weekend? This is a very common question. You can ask, how was your weekend? How was your weekend? Same question. Very useful. Answer. It was great. It was good. It was okay. It was busy. It was relaxing. Repeat each one. Good job. Now a short conversation. Listen. A. How was your weekend? B. It was great. I watched a movie and met my friend. Good. Discuss. A. How was your weekend? Repeat. B. It was great. Repeat. I watched a movie and met my friend. Repeat. Very good. Now listen again. Listen again. A. How was your weekend? B. It was great. I watched a movie and met my friend. Nice. You understand more now. Let's try another conversation. Listen. A. How was your weekend? B. It was busy. I cleaned my room and did my homework. Discuss. Repeat. It was busy. Good. I cleaned my room and did my homework. Nice. Now listen again. Listen again. A. How was your weekend? B. It was busy. I cleaned my room and did my homework. Great work. Now, let's help you speak more. I will ask you. You answer. Ready? How was your weekend? Pause, answer. Good job. Any answer is okay. Just speak. Next. What did you do on Saturday? Pause. Good. Next. What did you do on Sunday? Pause. Nice. You are practicing real English. This is important. Now let's learn more simple weekend activities. Repeat after me. I went to the park. I went shopping. I played football. I visited a friend. I cooked food. I watched YouTube. I studied English. Great job. Now let's make sentences. Repeat. On Saturday, I went to the park. Pause. On Sunday, I studied English. Pause. Good. Now a longer example. Listen. I had a nice weekend. On Saturday, I went shopping and cooked food. On Sunday, I stayed at home and studied English. Discuss. Repeat. I had a nice weekend. Good. On Saturday, I went shopping and cooked food. Nice. On Sunday, I stayed at home and studied English. Excellent. Now listen again. Listen again. I had a nice weekend. On Saturday, I went shopping and cooked food. On Sunday, I stayed at home and studied English. You are doing amazing. Now let's practice pronunciation. Repeat slowly. Weekend. Weekend. Good. Saturday. Saturday. Sunday. Sunday. Great. Now sentences. My weekend was good. Pause. I had a relaxing weekend. Pause. I met my friend. Pause. Perfect. Now let's do a full example together. Repeat after me step by step. I had a great weekend. Pause. On Saturday, I stayed at home. Pause. I watched a movie. Pause. On Sunday, I met my friend. Pause. We had coffee together. Pause. Excellent. That is a full answer. Now, let's build confidence. Remember, simple English is good English. You don't need long sentences. Example. I watched TV. I slept. I met my friend. This is perfect. You are learning. You are improving. Keep going. Now one more listening. Listen. My weekend was okay. I stayed at home on Saturday. On Sunday, I visited my family and we had lunch together. Discuss. My weekend was okay. Repeat. I stayed at home on Saturday. Repeat. On Sunday, I visited my family. Repeat. We had lunch together. Repeat. Very good. Now listen again. Listen again. My weekend was okay. I stayed at home on Saturday. On Sunday, I visited my family and we had lunch together. Nice work. Now, quick review. Repeat. I had a great weekend. My weekend was busy. My weekend was relaxing. Good. I stayed at home. I watched a movie. I met my friend. Nice. I cleaned my room. I did my homework. I visited my family. Perfect. You learned a lot today. Wrap up. Today you learned how to talk about your weekend. You learned how to say, I had a great weekend. How to talk about Saturday and Sunday. How to use simple past verbs like watched, met, and visited. How to ask, how was your weekend? And you practice speaking. That is very important. Remember, listen, practice, repeat. This is how you improve. You are doing a great job. Yes, you are. Keep learning, keep practicing, and don't be afraid to speak. Now we want to hear from you. Tell us in the comments. What did you do last weekend? Write a simple sentence. For example, I watched TV. I visited my friend. I studied English. We will read your comments. Thank you for listening. See you in the next episode.